You get it? And then I called him. Just imagine. I mean, it would have been bad. But luckily, he was neatly dressed. So, in this time of your lives, I always advise when you are going out, you never know what will happen. Be cool. I mean, dress well. Dress well because opportunities comes but once. So that's it. Thank you.
Please, I want to ask this question. Please, is there any form of assessment aside the interview? Yes, is there any form of assessment aside the interview? For example, you see, we've gotten to know many people in which they tell us, oh, when I was going for the interview, I found a rubber on the floor, I took it. When I went to the interview, they told me that I'm done with the interview because, oh, I did something along the way when I was coming for the interview. Yes, so is there any form of that assessment, yes, for aside the interview? Thank you.
Okay. So, there shouldn't be. But it depends on what you are being interviewed for. Some organizations require that you write aptitude tests. I don't think that is what you're asking me. What you're rather asking me is something I watched on Instagram or YouTube or something, where two ladies were coming for an interview, and they met an old woman she came to sweep, and she swept, and some of the dust went on one. And then one said, "You stupid woman, why did you do that?" And then the other one said, "Oh, madam, sorry. Oh, can I sweep for you?" And then took the broom and she swept. And then it happened that the old woman is the owner of the business they were coming to work. And she said, you are rude. You are good. I saw that on Instagram. I haven't seen that in real life. So, if that's what Instagram is teaching us, let's learn to sweep. Don't mind me. So, I think, I don't know about the test. I mean, if you are intelligent, you are smart, you were brought up well, I think these little things are things that you can always, avoid and do well. I mean, you can't go somewhere and go and insult somebody just because of an error. Let's always be smart. Let's always be, well positioned to perform. I think that will help us. Thank you.
Please, are we done with the questions?
Please, one last question.
Okay.
Please, I want to find out, is it relevant to add voluntary activities that you have undertaken in your CV as an upcoming candidate for job? Yeah.
Yes. I think it's very important to add everything you have done. Every relevant thing you have done. And the key word is relevant. Now, if the voluntary work will add to your CV and position you better, you should add it. And then the purpose of interview is to really know you better. That is what interview is all about. That is why my colleagues yesterday told you that some of you, when you come for internship, your interview has started. At the end of the interview, they know you better. Some people come to do national service, and at the end of the national service, maybe we want to recruit them, and then they say we should do interview. I mean, those we have worked with closely, and we know that they are so good. You can just imagine how their interview will go. You get it? It's all about, so what is your name? When can you start? We are done. We know him, and we know he's so good. In fact, we need him. You understand? So anything you have done that will position you better for the career you are seeking for, you should put it in your interview, in your CV. Sorry. You get it? So that is what interview is all about. It's all about what you've done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think because of time, we'll end this session. Please, let's give a round of applause to Ms. Jane for that awesome session. Please appreciate her one more time. You know something? The panel discussion ended yesterday, and as she mentioned, there were a few questions that were not answered. But immediately she got here, he asked for the opportunity to give you all the answers you deserve. Please, let's give her a round of applause again. She's ready to impact us and give us all the information in the job market. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go into the business of the day. We are going to start with a panel discussion. Yesterday, I was taking some notes. As I am here, I am a staff of UNE. I am fully employed. But I was taking notes. Please, can I see your notes? The students, did you come with your notes? Please, I want to see. Are these notes? I didn't say my program outline. Notes. Please, the ushers, those who don't have notes, please take my chits from them. I want to see your notes. Get your notebook. Get your pens ready. Jot something down. The vital information, please jot them down. That is great. Please, at this juncture, we'll take our first panel discussion. And there is a little bit modification in our program outline for today. If you go through the program outline for yesterday, we missed a session. So there was supposed to be a discussion on diversifying your talents in the era of energy transition. So we'll handle that discussion this morning. And it's my singular honor to invite my able moderators. We have Joseph and Tracy here. Please let's welcome them as they take us through the panel discussion.
A very good morning to us all. Good morning. Good morning. Please, I trust you're all doing well. So as she rightfully said, I'm Tracy Mausi Avupo. If you can't mention my surname, just call me Tracy Mausi. So most of you don't know my surname because it's difficult to pronounce, so I prefer not to mention it. All right, so I'm here with Joe. A proper introduction, please.
All right. Good morning. I'm also Joseph Inkulenu. Yes. I needed you to hear it clearly because it's very important to me. All right, so this panel discussion is probably one of the most important ones aside yesterday's own. And I'm very happy that we are here in our numbers and we are here very early to participate. So without much ado, I'd like to invite our discussants. We have with us Engineer Michael Kwabena Mureku to join us from Ghana Gas. Also for the panel discussion, we have Engineer Alberta from EC on stage. Once again, to come on stage is our favorite, Miss Janet from Ghana Gas. Join us, please. The HR factor is very important to us. The HR factor, very, very important.
Okay, so I would ask like those on the TV shows. So a very good welcome. Did I say welcome? Welcome once again, our panelists, for joining us. You were here yesterday, and hello, and you are here today as well. So the topic for discussion today is diversifying your talents in the era of energy transition. We know that the theme for this career fair is energy transition, prospects and challenges, the role of the graduate engineer. But I believe most of us do not even know what energy transition is. And since we want to talk about diversifying our talents in the energy transition era, the first question that I'm going to ask is, what exactly is energy transition all about? And what is the need? Why is there a need for students to diversify their talents in this era? So this is my first question to the panel. I believe we are going to take submissions from each person on the panel.
Good morning once again. Energy transition. I hope you've all heard about COP19. The world leaders met and realized that the effect of greenhouse gas emission or harmful emission into our environment, the effect is so harmful, and they need to act immediately to be able to reduce the effect. And as a result, they signed on to this agreement. And because of that, they put in place measures to ensure that we reduce our carbon footprint. When we say you are reducing your carbon footprint, what it means is that you are reducing your activities that increase carbon emissions into the atmosphere. And there are various means to do that. So for the energy aspect, we deal a lot with crude oil, and crude oil also emits a lot of harmful carbons into the atmosphere. So now we are going into clean energy or renewable energy sources, or what we call good energy or green energy. So all these things mean the same thing. And as a result, we are transitioning from the use of crude oil and other harmful sources of emissions into the atmosphere to cleaner ones. Natural gas is cleaner than crude oil, and we want to go into solar, wind, nuclear, hydro, which are more cleaner. And so that is what the transition is. We are transitioning from the use of crude oil or more harmful sources of energy into cleaner ones, so that the effects on our ecosystem will be minimal.
Okay, so I believe Engineer Alberta has given us the explanation. Now, why is there a need for students to diversify their talent, to enter into areas that are going to help them get great skills for this era that we find ourselves in?
Okay, I'll take that one. So it's extremely important for students to diversify. With Paris Agreement 2015, and then also the Sustainable Development Goals that the whole world is aspiring to, it means we are moving towards clean energy. Clean energy means renewable energy. And if in the next few years or within the next 10 to 20 years in Europe, most of their cars are moving from diesel and petrol to electric. I think everybody here is on Twitter, and we very much know who the owner of Twitter is, right? Who is that? Excellent. And what's one of the key transportation companies? And what is it based on? Exactly. So it is very, very important that electric cars are coming into being. In Ghana, I know there's an electric fast charging station in Accra. It's one or two. The government is looking at, within the next 5 years, doing more. I think the quota is around 50. And there's already electric cars in country. There's a company called Solar Taxi, which employs young Ghanaians to be able to do motorbikes and to be able to repair cars. And they sell solar cars as well, or renewable energy cars. So all these are very, very, very important. And that's the new technology. I'll use this example. When we were younger, 20 years back, what was the famous cameras? It was Kodak, right? And then with Kodak, I don't know, maybe I'm too old now. Or maybe a lot of people don't know Kodak, but I could tell that some of the lecturers nodding their heads. So Kodak was a film that you put into the camera. You take the pictures, and then you go to a photographer, and then they wash it for you. That's what we used to do. But now all of us have phones, and our pictures can be sent to each other within seconds. When you wanted to do a very nice overhead view of maybe the whole UNAIR campus and set it up in such a way that you can see the pictorial view from the top, you would have got a helicopter and a cameraman holding a camera. Now what do you need? Exactly. So new technology brings new ideas, and new ideas means we are evolving. And when we are evolving from an engineer, from a science point of view, we progress. And so it's very, very important this is done. So you may be doing electrical engineer, you may be doing a chemical engineer, you may be doing petroleum engineering. The first principles are all the same. It is based on the first principles that then the new technologies are being established and improved upon. So it's important we diversify. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Madam Janet, can we hear a bit from you concerning diversifying our talents?
Thank you. I was even just going to add to what Michael was saying, that, those days to just watch a movie, I mean, part 1 and 2, you see these huge cassettes that you have to, keep well and put inside something and all that. But right now, on your phones, in fact, someone could be watching a movie right now because we are so boring. It can happen. This is the new world, So you can't be stuck in the past. You must upgrade yourself, and you must be able to diversify at any point in time. I'm sitting here today as HR, but I should have an idea of the energy industry, because that's where I find myself in. I can't just sit there employing people. Where is your CV? No. I must know what is happening at my project site. I must know what is happening in my procurement department. I must know what is happening even in my finance department, so that when I'm interviewing, I can ask good questions. So you must upgrade yourself, and you must be able to, You must be able to diversify at any point in your life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that submission. Please, let's give our panelists a round of applause, even as we move to the next question from Joseph.
All right. You must be able to diversify. You must be very able to diversify. I'm a petroleum engineering student. And for me, hearing some of these things is a little bit scary. Because if we are moving from the traditional forms of energy, like coal, which we've already moved from coal, now we are trying to move from oil and gas. And oil, mostly crude oil. So it sounds a little bit scary to me. So my question right now is, how can students in the traditional energy fields, such as petroleum engineering, prepare themselves for the energy transition?
Okay, I think you.
Yes, it's a gradual process, and even in the transition, we all know we need a base energy or base load. So it's not a one-off thing; it's a gradual process. But I would admonish you to also take advantage and take courses that will make you readily available to take advantage of the transition. It's a gradual process. You will not become irrelevant all of a sudden, but then you can build on the knowledge that you have. You are going to need engineers to be able to implement this transition. Yes, so it's a gradual process. You are not going to be irrelevant just come tomorrow. So just keep on, as Engineer Michael said, you need the basic engineering principles, and it's the same across. You need the same basic petroleum engineering principles to even work on the renewable sources. So just keep on, and then also update yourself. There are other courses you can take, short courses to take. For instance, I attended a program on energy transitioning. Then I got to know the world. I also have to position myself very well for the prospect. So I decided to take up a course in renewable energy management. Yes, and I'm doing that. It's just a 1-year course. I'm about completing. Yes, so as you said, you need to diversify. Yeah, when I started working with ECG, I found myself in the project environment. So I needed to take short courses in project management, and I'm now a certified project manager. So that is how you make yourself relevant. If you see the direction that the world is going towards, moving towards, you also take short courses and make yourself very relevant.
Okay.
Before we have joined with us on stage today Mr. Kojo Apia from the Authority MPA. Please, a round of applause.
Good morning. So I'll say don't be scared. Not at all. That you shouldn't be. It's important, Engineer Abata said it already, and I reiterate it. You have the knowledge and you have the first principle. If we say it in Ghana context, we're not going to move straight away we're not going to jump from 1 to 20. We'll move from 2, 3, 4, and gradually go to 20. So it will take some time. And within that transition, with the right courses, with the right knowledge gain, it will be a really good transition and transfer. So it's just important we continue to improve ourselves and fine-tune what we have already as knowledge. Once you have the basics, it's much. Remember, a lot of people with the same basis or with hardly no basis will be going into that sector. And experience is the best teacher, right? So it's important we look at all those. To add to it, it's not just us sitting here who are petroleum engineers or chemical engineers or various engineers. We have to continuously let our younger colleagues who are not even in university to be taking all the STEM courses. It's very, very important that we continue to go around the STEM courses. That's science, technology, engineering, and maths. Once we do those things, it will make new technology much easier for all of us to adapt. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At this point, I believe the career was organized for you. So we want to open the floor to you to hear your questions. And then we go for it. So,
Joe, before we move on, I think Mr. Apia has a submission to make. So let's hear him out first.
Yeah, good morning to you once again. Yeah, so if I heard your question right, you wanted to know for a petroleum engineering student your fears in terms of the future with respect to the energy transition. Okay, so yesterday I said that if you look at the Ghana National Energy Transition Policy, it spans from 2022 to 2070. So it's a long stretch, and they have a decade plan, 2030, 2040, 2050, and 2070. The objective is not to completely do away with, let's say, the energy from fossil fuel. We are looking at coal and crude oil. No. Because of the objective of we achieving a net zero carbon emission. Okay, so the policy is focusing on increasing access and provision of energy sources from renewables. Okay, so we are looking at wind and then hydropower and other things. Now, so for petroleum engineers, there's still going to be production of oil and the use of other sources of fossil fuel. It's just that there is going to be more systems that are energy efficient. Okay, we are looking at production systems that reduces carbon emissions. Okay, so there will still be refineries, all these things in place. But we expect that as petroleum engineers, as systems engineers, you will develop systems that are more efficient, meaning that they reduce carbon emissions, because we have to protect our environment. And we know the greenhouse effect as well, which CO2 is a major contributor. So maybe if we ask our brother here, the current efficiency of Ghana Gas, your systems, we are looking at technologies and systems that will be more efficient, meaning that we are reducing those emissions. So it's not like completely petroleum engineers or oil and gas engineers are going to be totally out of the system. We want to protect the environment, increase access to renewable energy sources. But energy sources from fossil fuels, then we are looking at efficient energy systems. That is how it's going to be. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Appiah. Please let's give him a round of applause. Oh, let's appreciate him. So we are opening the floor. If there's anyone out there who has a question, today we want to get more of the questions from the students because we believe you have a lot of questions to ask, and our seasoned resource personnel are here to give you just the right answers you need. So if there's anyone with a question, you just raise your hand and the usher will bring the microphone to your end. All right.
Hello.
Thank you. So my question is, what does the industry prefer? That is, for the employees to take short courses or to pursue higher education, say masters in that particular field? And what are the benefits and the risks involved in the career of that individual as well as the company?
Can you come again?
All right, so my question is, what does the industry prefer? That is, for the employee to take short courses or to pursue higher education, say masters in that particular field where they find themselves. And the follow-up question is, if they do that, what is the benefits or the risks involved for that particular person's career, and the risks and benefits for the company as well?
Okay. So whether it's short courses or whether it's masters, it all depends. There is no right answer to that, because depending on which field you are, specialization in some short courses may be able to help you work on maybe, let's say, a particular unit or a particular equipment and have a very strong understanding of it. So, and a master's is also good, but normally when you start from a company, for example, Ghana Gas, we would assess you. We would go through a matrix to know your strengths and your weaknesses, where you need to improve, whether it's short courses that you need to do, whether it's a master's for your career progression and for the benefit of yourself or the benefit of the company. And then you and your career, your supervisor agree on such things, and then a timeline is set in accordance with our HR policy. You stated the benefits and disadvantages. Depending on the company, there are times where you can go out to study, or timelines. For example, if you start a job today and then tomorrow you say, I want to go and do my master's, what do you expect from the company? There will be questions asked. So you have to be committed to the company for a period of time before those things. And every company has its own policies. But continuous learning is absolutely beneficial to the company and to you as an individual and to the whole country at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from Engineer Alberta.
Yes, so as he rightly said, every company and their policies. For ECG, when you come in new or as a newly recruited personnel, your supervisor will assess your needs, your skills gap, and they recommend some training for you. And we expect that you take advantage of that provision to close the gap. Yes, for the short courses and the masters, as he said, when you come in new, we don't expect you to take some leave to further your education. But with time, as you advance, certain certifications are a requirement for you to progress. But as fresh graduates, I'll entreat you to keep learning on your own. Sometimes you can reduce the amount of time spent on the social media to go on educational sites, yes, and learn. As you are here, you've heard about energy transition. What is it about? You can find out on your own and learn more, yes. And then for the HR or the company, they also want you to put in your best. You don't want the situation where because you are pursuing courses, you miss work just to go and learn. So they will also be particular about that. That is why I, for one, the courses I take, I do them over the weekends. And I write to seek approval from my employer before I take those courses. So I do them at a time that will not affect my work and also my family as well. But then most importantly, you have to remain relevant, as you said. So take advantage and learn. And when you do, the company will also make good use of you. I'm put on certain committees or head certain committees just because of these, how would I even put it, courses that I've taken. It's an avenue for growth as an individual. It's an avenue for growth, and it also benefits to the company. So they are necessary, but you should do so well such that it doesn't affect the company negatively.
Okay, so to add to what Engineer Alberta said, your question is what I call training and development. Now, development is the masters, and training is the short courses. You need both. Now, the development gives you the base, and the training gives you the additions. So, if you don't develop, right, and you keep doing training, you won't get the overall. So you will be short-changed. But once you are developed and you keep doing training, it makes you solid. So actually, you need both. Now, assuming you don't do the bachelor's, you keep doing training, which is short. You will not be a master in your field because you don't have a holistic knowledge and understanding of where you want to be or the industry in which you want to find yourself. So at all times, bachelors and masters are very important. Training, which is the short courses, makes you better and positions you for the changes that is happening in the industry in which you find yourself. This training can even be done. You can go to YouTube and search for the new things in the petroleum industry. You'll be amazed at the information you get. You can follow industry trend or speakers on LinkedIn, and that's to use talk about key things in the industry. You can follow the discussions. So these are ways that you can, up your game in the industry. Thank you.
Okay. So I would also like to add to what my co-panelists have said. Yeah, we have short courses and we have the master's program, the MPhil and the PhD. I think that what becomes relevant when it comes to the master's courses will be dependent on the institution or the company that you find. So a lot of times I see people read master's program when they don't even have an idea where they are going to find themselves. So you go and read a master's program in, say, course A, but you end up getting a job in an industry and you realize that you would have needed a master's program in course B. So how do you balance that? I mean, reading a master's program, it's finance, it's money. Money too is not available always. So it will be better for you to find yourself in the you think this is.
Hello.
Yeah, so it will be better for you to find yourself in the industry or the company or the institution that you think, yes, this is where I want to develop my future. Then you develop yourself along that line. You see, so you find out that people read master's program and it's supposed to be applied. Yes, it's supposed to be relevant to where you are working, because you are supposed to improve, okay, on the current situation. Master's program, further knowledge, you take thesis or research work, you are solving a certain problem. It has to be applied. Otherwise, it will be on the shelf, like it happens. So when it comes to master's program, I would advise that if you have the money, yes, just save it, but find yourself in the area or industry that you want to work. Look at the surroundings, identify the relevant course, and then you can pursue the master's program. Now, when it comes to the short courses, like my brother said, continuous development is very important. So, for instance, you can make it a part of your lifestyle that every year you are going to read a certain short course. Okay. And again, it should also be relevant to the industry you find yourself. There are some institutions that will allow you to go out for 2-3 years and come back. Some institutions also do not. Okay, so you may have to fall on these short courses to continuously upgrade yourself. So, apart from the corporate training that they will give you, you should also have your self-development plan. And it's something that you should take it serious. Like I've said, you can have your technical knowledge, but what is going to really make you survive in the corporate world is those soft skills. How well are you able to fit in teams? You can be a manager, but do you know how to manage people? Do you know how to lead teams? Do you know how to, let's say, motivate people? Are you a critical thinker? Okay, how do you assess situations? If there is a problem at hand, which steps do you go through? Do you just take a decision? Or you tend to, put things down, identify which is the best approach? Okay, how effective are you in terms of time management? How do you do your thing? So all these are skills that you need to add on to your degree and your master's program to make you a better manager or leader in the industry that you find yourself. It is always teamwork. It is always working with people. Engineers work together, right? Yes. I mean, when there are problems, we put teams together. We put committees together. Are you the type that is able to, harness the strengths and the weaknesses of every player in the team or the committee so that you come out with solutions? So we need all these skills. And some of these things, it's more with the short courses. Okay, GIMPA runs a lot of these short courses. There are other short courses like that. So please, as much as we are looking at the masters, the MPhil, the PhDs, one, it should be relevant to where you find yourself. Otherwise, it will be on the shelf. And like I said, knowledge is such that tomorrow your knowledge is outdated. Okay, so why don't you wait? And then when you find yourself in the area that you feel this is where I have the future, this is where I want to develop, then you can pursue a master's program in a very relevant course area that will benefit you and the company that you serve in totality. There is also this dimension where, yes, you are working in this profession, but you have personal interest. When we talk about a balanced life, it's not just about work. Okay, you may have some personal interest or like a hobby or an interest that you like to pursue. You may be a mechanical engineer, but you like artwork. Yes, pursue something in art. You will find happiness and joy there. There are a lot of people who are working in certain positions right now that they don't find their happiness there. And you need all these things to balance your life. If it's music you are interested in, do it. If it's some sports, you hear that. I think our late Professor Mills was a very good lawn tennis player. Yes, so you can have other things that you do that will make your life balanced and make you happy. It's not just about having further degrees and further studies. A balanced life goes beyond that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe he has given us so much insights. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, so... Okay, and I would like us to take note of this. For the want of time, and I believe most of us have questions, so what we are going to do is that a resource personnel gives the response to one person's question, so that we'll get as many questions as possible. Okay, so we'll take the next 3 questions. Yeah, we take a set of questions and then we move on from there.
My name is Mahmoud Abdul Karim. Electrical level 300. My question is based on money. If a company is to employ you as an engineer, is your salary based on negotiation? Do they have a base pay, or the company can decide to give you anything they want, or how is it done?
Madam Janet, do we take the question again? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so the next question. We are taking 3 questions, and then we give the responses.
Please, I'm a computer engineering student, and I believe that gives us a fair idea of what I do. Now, imagine that I wake up one morning and I'm being told that I've transitioned into a world of AI and robots, where robots are basically doing what I do at a higher rate and with a lot more prolificity. As a computer engineering student, how do I still remain relevant in a field where I'm basically being outperformed in my own field? How do I remain relevant? Thank you.
All right. I believe today many students are tackling the issue of relevance. That the robots will take our place. All right.
Thank you very much. My name is Victor, BSc Electrical and Electronic Engineering. My question is about the energy transition. I want to know if there are availability for internal training programs that are organized by the companies towards this energy transition era. For instance, we have ICMC that focus on training mining engineers or those working in the mining industry, safety and asset management. And these trainers are working in the company, and those who are interested in the short courses will enroll themselves in. So towards energy transition, I want to know if these energy and oil and gas industries do run such internal programs to enhance the development. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we take the responses of the panelists from here. I believe Madam Janet will go first.
All right. So you asked about salaries and how it's done. I think all the questions you asked actually happens. Whether there's a base pay, yes. Whether you need to negotiate, yes. And the third one, I don't remember. It's also a yes. So what happens is, in organizations, salary ranges, in every position, salary ranges, let's say, from 1 to 10. So if I come here and I tell you that I'm a manager, I can be a manager 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 0.10. But all these 1 to 10 are all what? Managers. So these 0.1 to 10 all have different base pay. That is why I said your question is correct. Yes, there's a base pay. But how do you determine whether you are manager 0.1 or manager 0.10? That is based on you. You must negotiate. And negotiate is not just telling us, no, I have to be 0.10. No. In fact, you won't even know that there is a 0.10. It's after the interview and how you talk that will determine whether you are manager 0.1 or manager 0.10. However, sometimes if we interview you and we put you manager 0.5 and we tell you how much we'll pay you to be 0.5, you can also come back and negotiate that no, you don't think that this 0.5, this money, because you will know that there is more to 10. But let's say you look at the money, then you come and negotiate and tell us that no, because I did this and that, I even worked here, I acquired this, I can do this. Because of that, the 0.5 you are giving me will not do. Then what? Negotiation is what? In play. So it's a whole lot of going back and forth to actually pay you salary. You get it. So I think that's fine.
All right. We take the question on relevance. An AI, yeah, that's the question on relevance.
Okay, so in terms of relevance, in terms of the AI, our gentleman said yes, he's an IT professional, IT person. The main thing is, with IT, you are the person who is going to actually program the AI. So in the end, the AI or artificial intelligence is not normal, it's inputs and outputs. So whatever you put it in, that's what it will give you. So there will be times where now AI or robots are doing the work, but the robots are still controlled by human beings who program them. So you're going to move from one side of your work to another side and even make it more enhanced. So you will not be out of a job. It's just that there will be less people doing more. There will be less people doing a lot of things. So in that way, it's more diversifying your knowledge, diversifying your talent, but not out of a job, I would say.
Okay, please let's give him a round of applause. So we take the last one. There was a third question. Question from Vincent.
Okay, so I'll take that one. Energy transition, depending on the company you work for, or even if you are not in a company, we all are very much aware about the energy transition that are going on. If you're in a company, I think it's more needs and assessment based with your supervisors and various different things. So companies would, if you're a staff of a company, you can lobby to be able to be put on short courses or trainings that will enhance your knowledge on site. Even if the company doesn't have that ulterior motive of trying to move towards energy transition, you can always lobby to be able to say, okay, I'm a chemical engineer, but hydrogen as a power source of energy is the new technology. As part of my needs and assessments, I want to be able to study or want to do some few short courses in there, which you and your supervisor can discuss. And if it is beneficial for both the company and you at large, then you can take it on. But even, I'll say, even when it's not beneficial for the company, with your own small financing, if it's something that you are interested in, it should not stop you from being the new one who will break even out of the company and form a new company and set up something bigger than the company you are in. So it's continuous learning, continuous improvement. New technologies are coming up. There are so many new technologies at the moment that those people were working for big firms all around the world. But in the end, they decided, okay, I think my company is not taking this new technology on. I'll separate myself, build up my own company. And in the end, they become bigger than the actual company now. So we have to keep our minds open and think outside the box in order to bring new revolution to the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, engineer. Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. A round of applause. Now, one thing that he said that really got to me is there will be less people doing the work. That means if you are part of the less people, that means you've got something to do. So no matter what, we have to grow. Like, we don't have an option anymore. You have to grow. All right, so we still have some time on our hands. So we'd like to take a few extra questions, just three, and then we'll be done.
Yeah. Please, this is my question. I've been sending the ask. Okay, please, this to the principal. Hello, thank you. So this is to the principal for ECG. I've been with ECG for quite long, and
Quite long. How many years?
oh, 2 years. 2 years. And this is what I've observed, and I need explanation. You realize they recruit only HND students, but not degree holders, per my observation. So I just wanted to know, is there any rule or they have a set of people they recruit during a particular year? Because the first year, they were still HND. The second year, still HND. And we are the upcoming degree holders. So I'm scared. And yes, yeah. So please, I need an explanation on that.
Okay, your name?
Gavin.
Gavin.
Gavin, yeah.
Gavin. Okay, I'm sure it was because of the section you were placed in when you were having your internship. Mostly the field guys are technicians and artisans. The artisans are the part 1, part 2, part 3 holders, and then the technicians are the HND holders. But we have engineers. I am an engineer. I came in through right after uni. I did my service and I got recruited. We have a lot of engineers with ECG. Every year we recruit various levels of technical staff. We pick the artisans and they go through our training school. The HND holders and degree holders are picked right away, and then they are taken through some few months of training before they are posted to their stations. So with your question, I don't know, maybe where you found yourself, you were mostly on the field with the technicians. Probably that is why. But we have engineers. We recruit engineers more. Just last year, we recruited about close to 50 degree holders. I spoke to you about it, where we had 50% being females and 50 being males. And this year, we are recruiting as well. So just put in your applications.
All right, the next question. Do we have a lady with a question? Why? Hey.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Please, my question. With the increase in electric vehicles, would there be enough capacity to support the charging needs of these vehicles, especially at peak usage times? And what will be its impact on the electrical grid infrastructure? Thank you.
That's interesting. One of my mentees is working on that as a research topic. Yes, we always have our load profile, and we have our load growth. So we put in measures to ensure that we are able to meet the demand. So yes, we know, and we are also putting in measures to do that. So don't worry about that. As planners of the system, we have all that taken care of.
Okay. Yeah, so let me add a little to what Engineer Beta said. So, again, if you reference the Ghana National Energy Transition Framework, you realize that one of the targets, the 2040 target, we are looking at adding nuclear power generation to the energy mix. So there are a lot of options that are being considered to increase our power generation, and I believe you can confirm that. So in terms of adequate power, we will get there, because definitely we will need a certain, let's say, availability of power for us to be able to utilize these electric cars and other things that are going to fall on power systems. So it's all part of the energy plan. I believe the policymakers will be working towards that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Appiah. So the next question.
Please, my name is Enchu Bright, and I have a question concerning the national grid system. We are talking about energy, and we are moving from one source of energy to the other, since we are in an energy transition era. From the statistics or data that I have, majority of our energy that we get, the electricity source of energy that we get, are from the thermal plants, and most are from the gas companies to run our turbines in order to generate electricity. Is it possible for us to move directly from non-renewable energy sources to renewable source of energy, since the output of non-renewable source of energy is massive and the output of renewable source of energy is less? When we take the Bui power plants, the output of the solar panels, their output is less, and since it cannot supply the demand of the country, is it possible for us to move directly from non-renewable source of energy to renewable source of energy?
Okay, so is it possible? Yeah, I think Mr. Mercury is going to take that question.
I think we've answered this question a few times, but it is possible. But it's not done instantly. Rome was never built in a day. So you know your demand, you know the output. We are looking at now thermal energy taking the chunk of the energy that is produced in the country. So it's a gradual process. That's why my colleagues have always given you the plan and structure, and we building our capacity for going forward into the future, increasing renewable energy, increasing solar. Because of SDG, there's a lot of companies all around the world that are willing to also invest in renewable source of energy. So funding becomes a bit easier and a bit cheaper when looking for it than looking for fossil fuel projects. So it's a gradual process. Ghana, we just got oil in 2010, right? So we are not going to just quickly then abandon that, since it's one of the key things that gives us money. So we have to be honest, and we will gradually get there. And with good development plan, which is continuous over 10, 20, and various years, we can give ourselves those timelines to get there eventually. I think when was 2017, the rate of Seattle, the city Seattle in the U.S., was doing about 30% renewable energy. And there's a building there called Bullitt Center, Bullitt, and it runs fully on solar and carbon neutral zero that I had the opportunity to go in. But even with them, with the city of Seattle, they are not fully renewable. And the best one, supposing, is California, which is doing 50% renewable. So it is a gradual process. You give yourself a plan, you give yourself timelines and structures, and you invest in those sections in order to go to that level that we all want to get in future, in order to achieve the SDG goals and the Paris Agreement goals that the whole world is looking at.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mreku. Please, let's give him a round of applause. So we take the very last question, and then we end the session. For the want of time, I think we can only take one. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amwatita Isaac. I'm reading environmental engineering, level 400. My question is, I'm actually doing energy as an elective for this particular semester. And for the statistics that I do have, the extraction of fossil fuel, oil and gas ratio to the demand in the next 20 years is that it is going to be out of stock, especially for oil. Now, when you look at the energy transition from oil and gas to renewable, for Ghana, we have about 70 years plan. For other countries, some of them are even having like a century. Now, between this extraction extension to the point where we will arrive at the renewable source of energy directly, the gap, what do we as engineers do to cover up or bridge that gap? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. So, bridging that gap is important. We need to continuously do a lot of, I would say, STEM, that's the science, technology, engineering, and maths programs. So, in order to make sure that the future, we have the right knowledge and technology to move. But in the statement you made about going extinct, fossil fuel going extinct in 20 years, I hope you could have quoted your reference. Because I also have question marks on that. But I won't say completely in 10, 20 years. I think it will be for a while, but it definitely would go extinct. But within that period, that's where we have to, as we've been discussing today, try and gradually close that gap. With new technology, with learning, renewable source of energy is not just solar. There's various different sections. There's a wind, there's turbine. So there's so many options that we gradually can invest in and close that gap. But for the reason of a world looking at trying to reduce global warming and various different sections, as a world, we all want to reduce those emissions. So gradually, as Ghana, maybe we don't have a lot of money to invest, but we working as a world gradually will get to that level. So it's a gradual process, which we will end there, and hopefully we'll get to that point when we are still alive. Thank you.
All right. We'll get to that point when we are still alive. Please, let's give our panelists a very big round of applause. I believe they've given answers to most of the that we had on mind. So this brings us to the end of the first panel discussion for today. So I want us once again to give our panelists a round of applause, even as we exit the stage. Thank you. All right, so we are going to have a short interlude. Do we have Miss Theodosia here? Miss Theodosia? All right, so Can you please let's give her a round of applause even as she comes. I learned she has her own way of playing with words, so she's going to give us a poem. Yeah, she has a beautiful poem that she's going to deliver. Yeah, so let's give her a round of applause. Boom, 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 boom. Even as she comes. Welcome, ma.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed. Okay, I'm to recite. I wrote, it's entitled The Power of Love. Beautiful is your look. Beautiful is your look. Fascinated we feel in your presence. Sweet is your smell. Your voice is melody to our ears. Your presence is indescribable. Your smile is like the spark that lights up the day and comfort in our darkest nights. Powerful is your look. Red as rose flower is your representation. Limitless is how far you can go. Breathless is how sacrificial you can be. The power to unite is your breakfast. The ability to build is your lunch. The capacity to forgive is the preparedness to sacrifice for the good of others, like a soldier in the battlefield, is your daily achievement. Where would we be? Where can we go? Without your presence, your presence is where we yearn to be. You made a sinless man die for sinful people, even to death. Even to death, you do not withhold. You do all these things effortlessly. Speechless is how you make us feel. For the power of love is indescribable. The second piece is written by William Ernest Henley, and it's titled Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I think whatever God be for my unconquerable soul. In the full glitch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. In the belligerence of chance, head is bloody but unbound. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of it. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gates, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Theodosia. So we want you to understand that what we are doing here is not just for show. We actually have some students from UNE. One of them was actually an MC with me last year. Yeah, she'll be coming to tell us about how she got there. But before then, we have a resource person from RCs. So I would call upon Mr. Romeo Trinebo to also give us a presentation. Please, let's give him a round of applause even as he joins us.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on existing protocols, I'll be doing a small presentation about RCs. I'm sure you all know RCs. That is the Regional Center for Energy and Environmental Sustainability in UNE. And I will tell you a little about what the center is currently doing and how students can benefit from the center. I'm sure when you are on campus, everybody keeps on asking that, where is this beautiful landscape new building on campus from? That is RCs. And it's a World Bank funded center of excellence. And the goal of the center is that at the end of the day, we are to ensure that we train students to meet international and world-class standards. So it's fully funded by World Bank with a seed fund of $6.4 million to undertake such initiative. And that's what we are doing at the center. So it started in the center started in 2019, and as of this year, we have enrolled about 132 foreign students from all over African countries, about 11 of them, and then we have a number of local students here with us. And I will mention some of the projects the center has currently undertaken so that you know some of the projects going on in the center. So we have one of our active projects now is called the SCOPE project, which we are using machine learning and AI algorithm for rural electrification. And it's an amount of $180,000 project added on, which we are undertaking in Ghana, and then it's in collaboration with Zambia. It's a new project, and it's been one of the actively engaged ones which we are undertaking on. And then you know the China South-South Cooperation Project. It is also towards improving electrification in off-grid countries. And then a small part of the project is what you see on campus, where you see the street lights on campus being solar powered. It came out of the China South-South Cooperation Project, which is also being undertaken by the RC's project as well. And then also we have actively ongoing a project called the Sustain Dam Project, which is geared towards steadying land use and land cover changes at the Akosombo Dam areas. And it's also being funded by the Germans, and it's also $180,000 project, which is also currently ongoing. And then we are doing that as well to ensure that we understand the changes around the White Volta Basin, an excellent project ongoing. And all of these projects I am mentioning has opportunities which students who get to work with us will also get to benefit and have project experience with all of them. They are all actively ongoing. We have one, the TLP project, that is Training for Energy Access. It is also being undertaken with Kenya, and that is geared towards revising the curriculum for renewable energy engineering. And it's also an excellent project, also with a huge amount of funding into that to ensure that there are lots of opportunities and we can diversify the training and learnings. There was one which took place, the Asia project, which is geared towards transforming education in the university sectors. I'm sure you all have seen that. So if you currently go to the current level 100s and level 200s of the renewable energy engineering class, their learning is quite different from the traditional approach of learning. It's now competence-based learning and then student-centered learning, where it's not like what people assume as the chew and pour, the lecturer pour it on the student. No, it's not that type of learning, but the focus is on the student, how the student can come out and then be able to bring his thoughts together and share. That is a new part of the project we are doing, and we are aiming at transforming education in the university after that pilot project is also done with that. And then we also have a project called the Gendered STEAM project, also ongoing at the Volta region, and that is geared towards the energy access for cooking, and it's also around 50,000 USD, and we are doing it in partnership with Carleton University in the UK. I can talk of a lot of them, and there is a new one which we have won. I can't disclose today. It's the first UN project RCS is about undertaking. Our center leaders, engineer Professor Eric Foswentry and Dr. Professor Samuel Jenfi are not in. When they come, it will be unveiled, and this and many more projects are currently ongoing at the center. So I will swerve to the part which will benefit the students. So as part of mentioning all of these projects and opportunities that is taking place under the center, we are this year uniquely going to employ and take on skill-based national service personnel. I'm being emphatic on the skill-based. That is, irrespective of the fact that when you join us as a center to do national service with us, I wouldn't want to call it the conventional teaching assistantship, which the students don't want to hear. Everyone wants to go to the industry, Ghana Gas, GNPC, and the long list keeps on going on there. If you do your national service with us, you'll be enrolled and then you actively participate in most of these active projects which the center is currently running and ongoing. And then the good part, which you all want to hear, you will not be paid only your 559. At least you have some USD attachments for accepting to work with us as well at the Regional Center for Energy and Environmental Sustainability. So that is what is about uniquely taking place. And 2 months away from now, we are moving into the building. You can attest it's a huge facility, and we will need people to work with us there. And then a whole lot of vast opportunities are there, and we are hoping that we will get most of our students taking advantage of that. And beyond that, we are looking forward to also taking on skills-based interns who will also take part in some of these projects and also contribute their quota to most of the projects that we are undertaking. So it is a good opportunity to give much considerations to. You would get to learn and you'll be into work. It need be that you travel for projects, you just go around and enjoy a feel of what the projects will be like, and then you have engagement with that. So that is a regional center for energy and environmental sustainability, and then it is a big opportunity taking place there. So the final year students, you can take advantage of them. Few trainings that the center undertakes. We did one at the end of solar-powered irrigation training, where we discounted the amount by 90%, specifically for UNED students to come and learn and familiarize themselves with the solar systems and how they get to work. And we are about doing another one again. And then also we have an active project, and it's a partnership with the Millennium Health and Safety Consult, which is the only silver partner for NEBOSH. I don't know, the engineers who know NEBOSH, Occupational Health and Safety. NEBOSH is one of the key certifying bodies you would want to fall on for that training. We've partnered with the only silver partner. All other partners in Ghana are bronze partners, and we've partnered with a silver partner to offer such trainings on campus. And if you want to join that training, for the in-person version of the training, the cost is 6,000. For UNED students, we've discounted by 500 cedis if you want to have an in-person classroom session. And then also, if you want to do it virtually, that's online participatory learning, it's 5,000 cedis for UNED students, also by an amount of 500 cedis. So you pay 4,500 to benefit from the training. And those who would want to prefer a self-paced learning where you'll be given an LMS platform, you log in and you learn at your own pace. You pay 4,200 to participate and get all of these resources and learn. And it's important that you do that. If for nothing at all, I can tell you that Newmont Have for Naught project has kickstarted, and one of the key things that can give you access to working in the energy and mining industry, NEBOSH is very critical there. So it's good you take advantage of these opportunities whilst it's been discounted. Even the original price itself has been discounted, and we are still going extra mile to discount for students to take part in all of these projects. So you can put yourself out there, go through what it takes to do certification, and then you would get a lot of that. And hopefully by next year, new initiatives are being fostered through MOUs where you have project management and a whole lot of other new short courses which will enhance your professional skills are all coming on board. So we hope that you will participate in all of such. And that's with the Regional Center of Energy and Environmental Sustainability. I wrap up, and having been an alumnus of UNED, I would also drop a few things to the learned voices and the few things that they've shared to empower you all. That if you are in the University of Energy and Natural Resources, I must admit that most of your learnings and how you have developed and built yourself to come this far is quite excellent and amazing. People do talk that, oh, we don't have facilities, we don't have quite a number of things, but one thing I can attest with colleagues who are working in the industry, each time you would visit, even masters, when we embark on internship, you hear the testimonies that the UNED students are doing excellently well. Why? Because we are built to last. So it's a good opportunity, and then we encourage that whilst you go out, especially to the final year students, we encourage that you keep up that mark of excellence. The same way you complain that UNE is hard, is not by industry. So do well to let up there. And engineering, leaders, and management to the School of Energy as well. Thanks for putting up this program and then the privilege to share about the Regional Center for Energy and Environmental Sustainability. Thank you.
A round of applause from Mr. Romeo, please. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. We wanted to dedicate about 5 minutes for a question and answer session for Mr. Romeo. Based on the reaction we got from, I believe there are a lot of questions we have, after which we'll have a music interlude from our keyboardist. So, any questions, please? Any questions? Any questions?
Hello. Please, I heard you saying something about the interns. I want to know, is it only about being a TA or there's other options for you?
Yeah, I was quick to clarify that what we do is not only about in part. In fact, you learn to become a project engineer because we have lots of projects which the students will be added on to, and they will learn along the project. Some will be projects so that you know how we are tracking and scheduling our events and things that we do there. And for on-skills learning, you do a lot of training, especially those in the engineering side, GIS, machine learning, AI. You will learn a lot, so you'll be trained on that side. So it's more like the teaching part of it will be an added-on responsibility you would be rendering to your lecturer who took you on. So we have other roles in communication space. You would be, this area, we need even 7 people in our communications team for web development. We have to develop about 7 or more websites for different project needs. So we need people in that area. And then people who have added on skills like graphic design and the likes will also come on board to benefit in that area, that side as well. So it's not only the team, but in fact, when the advert comes out, you may not even see it as a call for teaching assistants. The name is together.
All right. Any questions, please? Any other questions? There's a question from our brother in the...
Okay, thank you. Please, in your researching industry, do you have any link with international schools to help those who are who want to enter into the researching industry?
Oh yeah, RCs, I can mention of Delft, University of Bochum, Germany, University of Carleton, we have a project with University of Lubberov, a number, that's 2. And the World Bank Funded Center is a network of centers actually, which has networking areas. We have RESO. RESO networking is for into water resources. Of that. So all of the schools in the RESO network, any of our students can hook on to that areas. And then see this, all the centers in West Africa which are in energy sustainability want to be in the energy space, not necessarily with RCs, and you would want to join in any of Africa, you can benefit from network. So those are the 2 areas which we network with them.
Okay, please, my question is there any scholarship? Or
yeah, thanks for drawing my attention to that. All of the people who do national service with RCs, if they are only interested in doing their masters, it's fully funded by the center. My master's was fully funded by the center. Anybody who does with the center, if only you would want to do it there, fully funded.
That's very useful information you just gave us.
Okay, so can we know the additional amount to the 559?
when it will come along with the adverts, but trust me, you will love it. Yeah.
Please, will I still have the discount or on the NEBOR certification as an alumni?
Yeah, it's available to alumni. So.
Hello. Yeah, so Mr. Rolling, together with your keyboardist, we are ready.
Hello.
Oh
Roland has done so well. He happens to be the music director for the university choir. Yeah, so let's give it up for him one more time. Roland, please, we'd like to hear your voice one more time. You'll be coming again. So prepare the third song. And you come and then duetting. All right, so it is time for me to call upon one of my mentors. In fact, when I was preparing for this career fair, I had to go and ask her for MCing skills. Yes, last year, when I was coming to MC, Bridget, what should I do? Bridget, what should I wear? She was teaching me everything. And the good news is that she's currently working with Ghana Gas. I want to call upon Miss Bridget Marfo to share with us how she got there, what you can also do. Please, we can do better. Hey, share. My ladies, today I'm not feeling you, crowd. It's like the guys are overshadowing us. It's not nice. Oh, let's give her a round of applause. You see the stage her alone. When she comes, she will scare off the guys.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay, so it's good to be back home. I'm sure most of you know me already. Yes. Okay, so for the sake of those who don't know me, my name is Bridget Marfo. I completed UNE just last year. I did electrical and electronics engineering. Yes, and I must applaud the organizers of this program because they are really thinking about our future. I am a testimony of this career fair. So, yes, I am a testimony of this career fair. So I got interested in Ghana National Gas Company, and then God being so good, after the national service postings, I was posted at Ghana National Gas Company. Hello? Hello? Yes, so I landed myself the opportunity to do my national service with the Ghana National Gas Company. And I must say, it has been a great experience. I was first posted at the Atuabo gas plant. I was there for a week for orientation. They took us through the various departments of the company. They enlightened us about things that we should do and things that we do not have to do. And they took us through the plant. And so after that, I was posted at Takoradi Distribution Station. And that is where my department actually does its job. So I am with the Pipelines and Stations Department. And there, by the name, we just distribute gas through pipelines to our off-takers. I should say customers. To our off-takers. So that is what we do. We condition the gas in their specifications for them. We condition the gas in the specifications of our off-takers so that they are satisfied with our work. I must say that Ghana Gas received me very well. I am there with about 5 of us from UNE, 3 from the electrical engineering class, and about 3 from petroleum engineering. So someone will say, what do you do as an electrical engineer at Pipelines and Stations? I asked myself the same question. I was like, Ghana Gas is just gas. So electrical engineering, what am I going to do there? No. So just in my department, I'll talk about just my department. Just in my department, we have mechanical engineers, we have electrical engineers, we have petrochemical engineers, and we are all useful at the department. So one thing I told myself after a few weeks at Ghana Gas was that relating it to electrical engineering, which I did, instead of the transfer of electricity through cables, I related it as gas through pipelines. So, so that was the easiest way. That was the easiest way I related. That was the easiest way I related my background to work. And there, I've been very useful. I've learned a lot. Ghana Gas treats us very well, I must say. In fact, as a new person at Takoradi, where I had no relatives, all the employers, managers, they were also concerned about finding accommodation for us. Ghana Gas feeds us. I should talk about that. They feed us very well. Breakfast, lunch, whatever you want to eat, dessert. I mean, yes, it's very important. And then also, they have so many buses taking us everywhere. They treat us very well. The last thing I would like to tell you is that after all that you have heard from me, you should know that this career fair is not just any program. You can actually land yourself in one of these great companies. Madam Alberta is also my boss from ECG. I did my internship with her during my level 300. So you all should take advantage of this opportunity and create links. And I believe you do well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Bridget Marfo. All right, so we'll be breaking. And before we go for the break, I'd like to... All right, so we'll be breaking for lunch. All right, so we'll be breaking for lunch. The dignitaries will go out first. Please, let's take note of this. Please, can I have some silence in the house? Can I have some silence, please? Interested. All right, so the dignitaries will go out first, and then students also remain seated for your food. And we are reminded that after this, we'll be having a presentation on Ahaban Mono impact. Is the SRCPRO around? Osborne, please, are you around? All right, so he'll be giving a short presentation on Ahaban Mono impact right after the lunch. So we break. All right.
Mm-hmm.